Down the rabbit hole, deeper and deeper, we must go. Have you begun to realize what this organization truly is yet? Have you begun to put the pieces together? Has it dawned on you what they truly are? If not, then continue watching. Back in the last video, we talked about how Freemasons believe that they hold the sacred art behind magic, astrology, and alchemy. So what does that even mean? Well, to understand that, you must understand this secret first. In Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma, he states on page 321, quote, "Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, son of the morning, it is he who bears the light, and with its splendors, intolerable blinds feasible, sensible, or selfish souls. Doubt it not, for traditions are full of divine revelations and inspirations, and inspiration is not of age, nor of one creed. Plato and Philo also were inspired." Now, for anyone who doesn't know who Lucifer is, we must look in the Holy Bible to find out. Lucifer is Latin, and it means light bearer or morning star. In Isaiah 14:12-15 it states, "How you have fallen from heaven, you, star of the morning, son of the dawn. You have been cut down to earth, you who defeated the nations. But you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven, and I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit on the mount of assembly in the recesses of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will make myself like the Most High. Nevertheless, you will be brought down to Sheol, to the recesses of the pit." Also in Luke 10:18, Jesus made a reference to this verse when talking to his disciples, saying, quote, "And he said to them, I watched Satan fall from heaven like lightning." So after viewing these two verses, we can put it together. We know that Lucifer means is it his light bearer or morning star. And in Isaiah we read, God talks about a star of the morning or son of dawn being thrown down from heaven. And Jesus himself in Luke says that it is Satan who fell down from heaven like lightning. So Lucifer is Satan, or the devil himself, the ancient serpent of old. So here we see that the invisible society within Freemasonry worships the fallen angel Lucifer, or Satan, and believe that it is he who bears the light, and to never doubt it. Also, another interesting verse to note, where the Bible references Satan taking a legion of demons with him to earth, is in Revelations again. Revelations 12:7-9, it says, "Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him." Also in Revelations 12:3-4, it says, "Then another sign appeared in heaven, and behold, a great dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his heads were 7 diadems, and his tail swept away 1/3 of the stars of heaven, and threw them to the earth." Here we see the Bible describe a dragon, Satan, waging a war with God in heaven to take his throne. He was able to successfully get 1/3 of the stars of heaven, or angels, on his side to fight with him, but they were defeated by Michael and his angels, who were then thrown down to the earth by God. Interesting thing to note is that 1/3 is equivalent to 33%, the exact same number as all the degrees of Freemasonry, which is 33. So the next question is, why would they worship Lucifer to begin with? What does he give them in exchange for their souls or service? First, we must look in the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, written by 33rd degree Mason Albert G. Mackey. There is a description under the word pentagram that gives us a better understanding on how they view Satan or Lucifer. Quote, "The pentagram is the star of the Magians. It is a sign of the Word made flesh, and according to the direction of its rays, that is, as it points upward with 1 point or with 2, It represents the good or evil principle, order or disorder, the blessed Lamb of Ormuzd and of St. John, or the accursed God of Mendes, initiation or profanation, Lucifer or Vesper, the morning or the evening star, Mary or Lilith, victory or death, light or darkness." End quote. Here, it's stated that the pentagram, depending on its position, represents good or evil, light or darkness, victory or death, initiation or profanation, and finally Lucifer or Vesper. Notice how he positions the wording though. The first word is something good, and the second word is something bad, like for example, victory or death. But notice how he puts Lucifer as the first word and Vesper as the second word. So now we see that they view Lucifer as good, initiation, the morning star, victory, and light. And not only that, but they believe that evil is good, and that good is evil. Also, to prove it even more to you, take a look at the book, The Lost Keys of Freemasonry, written by 33rd degree Mason Manly P. Hall, in which he states, quote, "When the Mason learns that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, he has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething, surging energies of Lucifer are in his hands, and before he may step onward and upward, he must prove his ability to properly apply energy. He must follow in the footsteps of his forefather, Tubal Cain, who with the mighty strength of the war god hammered his sword to his plowshare." End quote. This is the beginning of the Freemasons' big secret, that the god of this world is the devil, their hidden religion, with its universal one-eyed symbolism, which is revealed slowly and only by degrees towards dedicated members, is Satanism, or Luciferianism, as they like to call it. Now do the oaths, rituals, secret signs, symbols, and penalties finally start to make some sense? Now that we understand that the god of the invisible society of Freemasonry is Satan, we can finally start to understand what their hidden craft is. Previously learned that they guard Arcanum Arcanum, which again means the secret behind all astrology, magic, and alchemy. So their god is Satan, and they know the secret behind magic. So what's another name for magic? Witchcraft. The hidden secret they possess is the knowledge of witchcraft, or in a lighter tone, for some who don't like that word, also known as magic. So how does it work? Witchcraft works because there's a hierarchy or a pyramidal power structure within the spirit realm, a realm devoid of any love for you. These spirits can be conjured up and summoned by the practitioners of the royal art Freemasonry. They ask for something in return, however. This is what the rituals are. They are sacrificing something in return for something else from Satan or other demonic energies. It is essentially a trade between a man and a demon. If you think this is all crazy talk, then listen to an interview of singer Bob Dylan. Here is what he says.
Out here doing these songs, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
First thing to know here, he says that he makes a bargain with the commander-in-chief. So who is that? Well, we can find that out in the book called Magic and Witchcraft, written by Catherine Panslin. In this book, it gives us a hierarchy structure of demons. In the hierarchy, it says that Satanakia, or in other words Satan, is also called the commander-in-chief and is in charge of all the other demons. So Bob Dylan literally said that he made a deal with the commander-in-chief, or in other words Satan, in order to become rich and famous. Not only that, but the reason he was continuing in old age was because he had to keep his end of the bargain that he made. If you still think that it's all hogwash and crazy talk, then look at the book again, called Magic and Witchcraft. Quote, "A magician who is inadequately prepared and cannot attain his desires may see the aid of Satan by making a pact under which he agrees to serve the devil for a number of years or to surrender his soul." Also, on a side note, this book actually has a warning in the introduction stating, "This is not a book for the idly curious. Some of the spells and recipes included may seem foolish, dangerous, or disgusting. The knowledge here revealed has been forbidden through the ages and has caused suffering and even death to thousands accused of being witches as well as their victims. Be warned. So this book states that no one should read it who's curious, because it contains hidden knowledge that people have been killed for knowing. The reason for that is because most of society would find the contents within the book to be foolish, dangerous, and disgusting. It even states that a magician who is inadequately prepared can seek the aid of Satan by making a pact with which he agrees to serve the devil for a number of years or surrender his soul. To give you more proof, I'll show you more about the rituals and magic spells. Within the same book, we learn that a black circle is the most effective for operations of evil. How many times have you seen in horror movies involved with a black circle whenever they're doing some type of satanic ritual? Also, the use of blood and sex is considered helpful for attaining the necessary energy to use magic and achieve mystical insight. This is where things like vampires and adrenochrome come from. They even use the fat of young children for magic and spells. Anyone remember the original story of Hansel and Gretel? They even show you how to conjure up Lucifer, described here in this book. It also explains to us the hierarchy of demon or spirits. Notice Lucifer again at the top, and leader of the fallen angels, or other known as demons. Also, according to ex-Mason Jeptein Island, in his 5-hour lecture on Freemasonry, he sheds a little more light on how exactly magic or witchcraft works and how the Masons view it. Here we see, quote, "Magic is the highest, most absolute, and most divine knowledge of natural philosophy," end quote. And here we also see, quote, "In any case, it was the theory of ancient magicians that any living being is a storehouse of energy, varying in quantity according to the size and health of the animal, and in quality according to its mental and moral character. At the death of the animal, this energy is liberated suddenly within the circle." So just like how the Matrix demonstrated humans as batteries or energy to be used however the AI best sees fit, Satanists view and look at humans the exact same way. Jeptein Childs comments on this statement, and he says, quote, "Rituals are done within the magic circle so that energy that's released can be captured and directed to serve the will of the witch, male or female." And finally, in the banishings and purifications we read, quote, "For the highest spiritual working, one must accordingly choose the victim, which contains the greatest and purest force. A male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence is the most suitable sacrifice," end quote. Here it literally says a male child, perfect innocence, and high intelligence is the most suitable sacrifice. And before you shake your heads in disbelief, do you even know how many children go missing in America a year? 840,000. 840,000 children. And that's just in America. I'm not even talking about worldwide. Because remember, this organization is international. If you still don't believe me, then can you explain the Jeffrey Jeptein sex island and sudden supposed, quote, suicide, where his cameras suddenly turned off in his cell for 30 minutes and the guards who were supposed to watch him decided to conveniently take a break at literally the same time his cameras went off? He literally had an island where the powerful rich and elite would come to his island to abuse children, and his wife, who literally helped them abduct children, was caught and proven guilty. But yet we still don't have her clients list. Why is that? Why would they hide that under any circumstance from the public if they truly had good intentions to enact justice? This was the greatest crime exposed of the century, and it just got swept under the rug. Even when Ghislaine Maxwell trial was going on, you know what was instead all over the news at the exact same time? Joe Rogan's controversy over a racial slur that they took out of context that he said years ago. A man saying a word is apparently far more important to the news than a case involving a child trafficking ring leader. Explain to me how the Joe Rogan's controversy was spread everywhere, all over the news, to the point where you couldn't escape it, but Ghislaine Maxwell's case wasn't even aired live on TV. No one heard about it. Why do you think that is? Because again, this is an international secret society, which protects its own and abides by different laws than the people. They're not going to do anything about the Jeptein case, because a lot of them are a part of it in some way. You start uncovering what really happened on that island, and then a lot of very powerful people will go down, to the point where governments will collapse. This is why the Jeptein case has faded into obscurity and will never reach the light of day again. So why do they go after children for rituals? Why does magic work better for them when they sacrifice children? Because remember, a ritual is essentially a trade between a man and a demon. A man or a woman does it to obtain money, wealth, fame, and power, and the demon does it to spite God. You might be asking, why does the demon want to spite God, and why use a human child to do it? Well, I'll walk you through it. In the Bible, we read that humanity is God's favorite creation, and the only one made in the likeness and image of him. In Psalms 8:3-6, we read, "When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained, what is man that you are mindful of him? And the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? For thou hast made him lower than the angels, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the work of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet." In Genesis 1:26 it says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." Also in the Bible we learn that God loved humanity so much to the point of sacrificing his own son, who was perfect, to die for humanity, to save them from hell, or in other words, eternal punishment for their sins. In Romans 5:8-10, we read, "But God commendeth his love toward us, and that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Much more then, being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from the wrath through him. For if we, when we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of his Son, much more, being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life." Finally, in John 15:13, "Greater love has none than this, that a person will lay down his life for his friends." So in these few verses, we can pretty much piece together how God views humanity. He loves them and died for them. It even states that there is no greater love than the one who is willing to lay down their own life for that which they love, which God did for us, so that proves that he loves us with a love that is greater than any other love. Also remember, demons were kicked out of heaven with Satan, Revelations 12:7-9. Then war broke out in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled down to the earth, and his angels with him. Also we learn that they know that they do not have much time, and that they know they are doomed to hell, to be tormented day and night for all eternity. Matthew 25:41, "Then he shall say unto them on his left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." And Revelations 20:10, "And the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet were, and they will be tormented day and night forever and ever." So the demons and Satan got kicked out of heaven and are doomed to go to the lake of fire to be tormented for all eternity. Knowing this, they are left with two options: accept defeat and give up, or give God as much hell and pain as they can for punishing them to the lake of fire. Since they can't hurt God himself, given the fact that they got kicked out and thrown down to earth the last time they attempted it, what then is the next best thing? To go after his children, which is humanity. The best way to hurt God is to get humanity to willingly do the most vile and disgusting acts that are incomprehensible. This is why they want humanity to sacrifice young children. It is to get back at God, punishing them. In exchange for humanity's willingness to go along with it, they lend them their energy, which we perceive as magic or witchcraft. We've covered a lot of ground in this video, but sadly again I'm gonna have to end it here. Again, we've learned about their secret god, who is Lucifer, and how their magic rituals actually work and why they even do them the way that they do them. We've also uncovered a bit about their own personal goals, along with their god Lucifer. In the next video we will go much more in depth about what their agenda is and how they have been implementing it for decades. But until then, stay safe out there, keep your eyes open.